Let's review one of the most overlooked fragrances from the house of Initio Parfums, and that is of course Mystic Experience. Hey, what's going on? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, hit that subscribe button down below and also be sure to follow my Instagram page. But that's right, today we're reviewing one of the most underrated, overlooked fragrances from the house of Initio, Mystic Experience. Honestly, I haven't really seen anybody talk about this one. There's not even really any reviews on YouTube or anywhere about this one either, so it's highly underlooked, and I actually got this on a swap. This isn't one that I actually went out and purchased or blind buy or anything like that because, like I said, there's not much talk about it. That honestly might be for a very good reason, and you'll find out why in this review. All the fragrances that actually get the most hype within the house of Initio would of course be Oud for Greatness, Rehab, Blessed Baraka, Side Effect, etc. This one, not so much. But let's go over some information about Mystic Experience now. This fragrance was launched in 2015, so it actually has been around for quite a while now. The retail price for the only size these come in, which is 90 milliliters, is going to run you back $330, which is definitely a hefty price tag and very expensive. The concentration is an eau de parfum, and the perfumer behind this one is actually Hamid Muradi Kashani. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not really familiar with this perfumer or any other creations that he was behind, but he was the nose that made this one. With all that information out of the way, let's go look at the packaging and presentation you will get with Mystic Experience now. Alright, so unfortunately I only have the bottle because this is a tester bottle, so it didn't come with full presentation or the box or anything like that. However, the bottle does look really nice. It kind of looks like all the others from the house of Initio. You got this matte black finish all around. On the top it says Initio Mystic Experience. You have that logo right there, which they all pretty much have. On the bottom, you will find your batch code right there to authenticate your product to see when it was produced, along with a sticker as well with some of your information. And then on the back, this is a tester, like I said, so you do have like your notes and whatnot right there. The cap is pretty hefty, which is nice. Nothing inside of the cap, nothing on top, or actually you do have the Initio kind of engraved on top of the atomizer, which is a nice touch, and it does click into place very snugly. The notes you get sandalwood, amber, coffee, musk, and oak moss. And this will be classified as a sweet, spicy. So let's go and spray this test strip and test out the atomizer right now. It's not pressurized or anything like that, but it does spray a nice distribution, which is always good. So let's remind myself of the opening of Mystic Experience. So right off the bat, to my nose, what I get is that coffee note. Now, most of the time when I smell coffee-based fragrances, they come across like a smoky or roasted coffee bean. This one, however, is very smooth, almost milky-like, and it kind of smells like a latte or a cappuccino, which honestly is done pretty nice for being a coffee fragrance. I cannot complain about the opening whatsoever, especially if you love coffee-based fragrances. This one might stand out to you. This has a very smooth, refined opening that is kind of latonic or milky as well. So once this fragrance starts to settle on your skin for maybe an hour or two, you get into the mid where it turns a little bit more earthy, and I'm actually picking up on some kind of like patchouli as well, which I'm a sucker for patchouli. And what's weird is the patchouli is not listed in the notes, at least from Fragrantica. You do get that oak moss as well, which gives it a nice kind of masculine old school feel, but not so much. This is not one of your dated kind of old school oak mosses, but it definitely is there to support that earthiness from the patchouli that I'm picking up on. And by the way, in the mid, you are still getting that creamy, soft coffee note as well. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. But like I said, this fragrance is just so base heavy. There's no really top notes, no middle notes. There's no like florals, no citruses, no aquatic notes, obviously. It's just pretty much all base heavy notes that you find in other fragrances. But once you do make your way into the base, it does turn a little bit powdery to my nose, and that is of course coming from that sandalwood. Now the sandalwood in here is actually done exactly how I like my sandalwood to be done. It doesn't come across smelling like dill pickles or anything like that. It is a little bit sawdusty, a little bit powdery, and still slightly creamy from that opening as well too. It just kind of works hand in hand with the sandalwood and that coffee note. Alongside the powderiness from the sandalwood, you do get a golden warm resin amber in here, which is actually a little bit earthy as well, because obviously amber comes from trees like bark, And that's exactly how amber should be, is a little bit earthy, not so much like a fake golden nugget, how it's pictured in like Fragrantica notes, etc. No, amber should be a little bit earthy, and you do pick up on that in the base of this. And this is definitely coming across very high quality, but that's what you would expect when you're paying over $300 for a bottle of fragrance, is high quality natural notes. Wouldn't necessarily say the smell is natural at least, but it does have a photorealistic kind of high quality touch to it within the notes. Basically, it doesn't smell like a cheap fragrance at all. So all in all, as far as the scent profile goes with Mystic Experience, it's nothing groundbreaking, just a very nice, easygoing, creamy, coffee-based fragrance that sort of smells like a latte or a cappuccino. So if that sounds good to you, definitely should check this one out, at least sample it, because it is so expensive. But honestly, for me, I'm not the biggest fan of the scent profile. We'll talk about why exactly that is a little bit later in the video, because there is a huge letdown with this fragrance. So for seasons and occasions to wear a Mystic Experience, this one definitely fits the best for the fall and winter. This is not a summer, spring fragrance by any means. Definitely for the colder months because of the base heavy notes. So yeah, if you're sticking with the cold weather, this one would actually shine pretty nice, like going on a coffee date or something like that. Just fall activities in general, this one suits perfectly. So for occasions, I would say this one leans more formal. There's nothing really casual about it, playful, nothing like that. So definitely more of like a formal situation. Maybe not too formal if you're wearing like a suit or a tuxedo, but maybe like dates and things like that, I think it'll work good for. Even though this isn't really classified as a sexy fragrance per se, but it does have that kind of mystery vibe about it, hence the name Mystic Experience. It definitely kind of makes people think, especially if we're wearing this on a date, it will make the girl kind of like be curious more and have her questioning things, so to say, because this is not your typical fragrance at all. Now for gender and age groups, I would say this is classified as unisex. There's nothing that makes it masculine. There's nothing that makes it feminine, because both a woman and a man can definitely pull off any coffee-based fragrance. As long as you love coffee, you love the smell of coffee, you can wear this one. So it doesn't matter as far as gender go. Now, for age groups though, this one is more on the mature side. Like I said earlier, it's not playful, it's not youthful. There's nothing that really makes this suited for like a teenager or nothing like that. Just because how unique this fragrance comes across, it's not your typical fragrance for a teenager. So I would say this one would be suited for maybe 25 and up, would be the best age groups in my opinion. I'll wrap things off on the performance, and that's where this one completely falls flat for me and why I'm not the biggest fan of this fragrance to begin with. So the performance will be classified as below average. I definitely don't get the performance that you will be expecting for paying such a hefty price tag. And also looking at those notes, the base heavy notes, you would think maybe it would perform a little bit better, but it does not, at least on my skin. However, I got maybe around 5 hours of longevity, and the projection was very weak, very soft, very timid, and just comes across like a shy fragrance to me. I got maybe an hour of projection. After that, a complete skin scent for the next 4 to 5 hours. So below average. This one definitely more suited for like close encounters, like I said earlier, maybe a date if you're cuddling with a girl or something like that, because that's the only way she will probably be able to smell this one, is if she's actually very close to your scent profile or scent bubble, however, and is up to your skin smelling it. Because like I said, very timid, shy fragrance, which is a complete letdown because the scent profile, like I said earlier, is not that bad. It's actually pretty pleasant and enjoyable, but the performance absolutely lets this fragrance down and is basically its own kryptonite, so to say, because if it wasn't for the bad performance, this one would probably get a lot more love. But that's going to do it for my review of Initio Parfums Mystic Experience. Let me know down below if you have any experience with this fragrance at all and your thoughts, of course. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree. We can always discuss those in the comments. And also let me know your favorite from the house of Initio, because maybe I'll check out more within the year of 2023. I'm definitely curious about a lot of them. But as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.